This has never happened before. Aso Villa, Aso Rock, the president of Nigeria, running out, trying to escape because of so-called repentant terrorists, Boko Haram, invading FCT, the Federal Capital Territory. A lot of you might know what this picture signifies, what it means. But for those who do not know what it means, I'm going to break it down. Obasanjo, former military head of state / dictator, you might say is not. Well, all military officers, military head of state, that's what they are. And former president of Nigeria advised Goodluck Ebele Jonathan to approach terrorists using the carrot and the stick. And another military major general who also became president of Nigeria, Buhari, decided to use the stick and the carrot approach. And what does that mean? It means once you use force, that is the stick, carrot, the food, and that is called amnesty. Now, the argument is that amnesty was granted and given to Niger Delta militants and all of the militants who said that their land was being raped and that they need something back from the government. They were granted amnesty. Some of them became large, they became big. One of them is Asari Dokubo. Asari Dokubo, he is a millionaire. He's a millionaire, or millionaires, if there is anything like that. He's a millionaire in whatever currency you want to talk about. Asari Dokubo is a rich man. Now, amnesty program is to reorientate these criminals, these bloodsuckers and vampires, and the government is to give them a certain amount of money. But something happened in this new administration. They say that they were promised a certain amount of money, but now they are not being paid, that they will be going back to their calling, and they'll be going back to what they were born for. They'll be going back to what they have been born to do, and that is terrorism. As regards terrorism, it's very complex. There are those who are in that terrorism not fully knowing what they are in there for. They believe that they are fighting for Allah, while some believe that they are fighting Western influence, which still to them represents God, Jesus Christ, and all of that, not knowing that majority of those countries that they are pushing against are secular countries. Secular countries, obviously, they will not embrace Islam like that, but they themselves are not Christian, but then they like to call themselves Christians. Now, let's put that aside. A certain time, one of those, military officers that worked alongside late head of state, former dictator Abacha, told us about a particular resources in the northern part of Nigeria. And I want you to listen to what he said. And we will be also looking at terrorists publicly protesting that the amnesty that was promised, the money is not forthcoming. Let us first listen to what he has to say so that you can get a better picture of Western influence, politician influence, religious influence, and foolish influence that's coming from some people who do not know that there are others making huge amount of money from their own stupidity.
Let's assume Nigeria is 900 million people. And I tell you, from what he tell you, are the stones that we know are at the surface. We will be generating 74 times 12 months, $889 billion. I'm not talking about that. We'll go into our projects with international market. And let me give you a tiny little example before I come to that, so that you know what I'm talking about. You can Google as I talk. What is californium? Californium.
Is a state in the United States?
No. It's a precious stone.
Oh, not California.
That's why I want to tell you this.
Californium.
Californium in today's market, Google and tell me the price before I finish talking. In today's market today, in the world market today, one may ask, in Borno State, there is Boko Haram. There are areas that are still mined, now no-go area. The weather is harsh. It's very unfriendly. It's a small place. But there is something the international community with the connivance of Nigeria. Every day you have NGOs
coming into,
and they are hiring houses from 10 years, 20 years and above. And once you give them the price, they don't ask, they just pay. What are they doing? Why are most of them coming with satellite telephones? Why are most of them coming with PCs that are working with the same satellite telephones?
Computers that are working directly with satellite.
How come most of them come under the guise of supportive activities to the poor? They are giving them medication. Did the Ministry of Health bother to discover the type of medicine they are giving to the poor? How come there is increase in kidney and cancer, kidney and liver and cancer problems in Borno? How come it is attacking old people? How come the NGOs live in the wee hours of the night where soldiers dread to go? Police, security men cannot go. They go there at odd hours. They go with cash, bags of money. And then they come back empty with smaller bags in their hands. What is in these smaller bags? Who is giving them that? What started the Boko Haram? Are the elites aware? Is the government aware? Who within the agencies and ministries of Nigeria are compromising that? Who is aiding these activities? How much of this californium do they take per day? How much is a gram of californium in world market today? Who has Google to know? 27,100,000 per gram. $1 million. I didn't say naira. Yes, it's the most expensive thing.
Do we have it in Nigeria?
In abundance in Borno State. That's what started the Boko Haram. That's the game. Are we aware? How can we be ignorant of our country, of our place, of what God has given to us? If we don't know your country, what type of leadership are you coming to give? You are a liability if you don't know. How can we be supporting ignorance to say that's where we search for leadership? What can we do about it?
Somebody should read it out. How much is californium?
Okay. Californium is...
Talk to the mic properly.
Californium is $27 million per gram, not kilogram.
So how many grams is in a kilogram?
1,000.
1,000 grams makes 1 kilogram. And 1 gram is
27 million.
So 1 kilogram
is the most expensive. You know when I knew this? 1996. And one of the offenses we committed to some big men is getting to know this. We were tagged enemies, and it should not be known. 1996, I was tagged. Remember, at that time, there was the first campaign against me in Concord newspaper, front page, the Iron Man behind Abacha. That was the beginning on how to destroy me. And all for Nigeria. And I'm doing it for our well-being. If you sit down and say Kuwait is rich, how can we be seeing our relations, our parents, whosoever?
Welcome back. Welcome back. I do understand that that man that just spoke right now was part of the government in those days, even though the last buck, the final decision making does not rest on his table. But he was part of those people who brought Nigeria to where it is right now. Now, the video you're watching is that of the so-called repentant Boko Harams, terrorists in Nigeria, that had the effrontery, the boldness to come out to protest. They are protesting that their wages, salary is not being paid, and they are threatening to go back into terrorism. Now, it is clear that not all of them were ever involved in the terrorism per se, even though they might want to. They might want to be involved, and to be involved in terrorism at times is not because you want to. At times you are forced into it. It is out of not your own will. That's how it is there. But majority of them took opportunity of this. They put in their name. It's the same thing that also happened in the Niger Delta region too. There are people who are making money from it, but you find more of these things in the northern part of Nigeria, where people who are not really caught or whatever, they just come out to say yes, they are also repentant Boko Haram and they are ready to change, all for the wages. Is it 30,000 naira? So they are challenging the government of Bola Ahmed TINUBU, saying that money that has been owed must be paid, and government must continue paying them that wages. If not, they will be returning back to Sambisa Forest. They will be returning back to all of the bushes, and forests all over Nigeria. They will be coming to the southwest of Nigeria. They will be coming to the southeast of Nigeria. This is what we have on our hands. This is what we have on our hands. And when the past president was asked, what are you going to do to the 70% youth in your country? The man started reading about climate from a book, and he did this in New York, in the United Nations. He did this in New York when they had this environment and whatever program there. He started reading from the book to show how ignorant he is. He's not ready to answer questions based on what he was asked, but it is funny. It's a terrible thing. He is so dumb. He has nothing to offer. He has nothing to say. And look at the number of young people over there. Some might say, well, the reason why many of them are so, the religion and many other things have made them useless. If you embrace Islam, no problem. It's a religion. But will a religion make you productive? Are you all going to be imams and sheikhs and clerics? How are you going to be a medical doctor? How are you going to make your life better by saying, I'm a Muslim, I'm a Muslim, I'm only reading Quran, I do not want to study any other thing? I care less about what anybody wants, religion you want to be involved in, as long as you respect the rule of law and you are productive to the society. But what we have on our hands is this group of people in the northern part of Nigeria who are terrorizing everybody. And now they are holding the government at the jugular, saying we want our own share. You heard from the first speaker, you heard from him, he was a former military officer, you heard what he said. He's talking from a place of knowledge. He knows what is going on in Nigeria. Majority of us focus on crude oil. Crude oil is not the only resources. The north of Nigeria is also rich with enormous resources, but they are not too loud. They keep their resources within themselves, running the show within themselves. What are your thoughts about this one? Drop your comment, like and share. Subscribe to this channel. See you next.